Hello dear students, welcome back to my channel Excel in English. In today's video, we are going to solve the exercise questions from the poem Gifts of Grace, honoring our vocations from our class 9 English book Kaveri. So let's begin one by one in a very simple way. First we have check your understanding section. The question is, based on your understanding of the poem, state whether the following statements are true or false. Also, rectify the false statements. Statement 1. The poem highlights the skilled work of craftsperson. This statement is true because the poem beautifully praises the talents and skills of different workers and artisans. Statement 2. The poet shares that musicians express emotions through their instruments. Remember the line, the artisans with lutes, each hailing varied emotions and celebrating dreams echoing in the streets. So, this statement is also true. Statement 3. The carpenters in the poem are admired for their logical work. Now, logical work means using step-by-step reasoning or problem solving or thinking logically. That does not fit here properly. Instead, the poet here appreciates their accuracy and skillful craftsmanship. So, it is false and the correct statement will be the carpenters are admired for creating things out of wood with mathematical precision rather than just logical work. Statement 4. The electricians in the poem are recognized for their crucial role in lighting up lives. Yes, the electricians literally and metaphorically bring light to us, so this is also a big true. Statement 5. The poem pays homage to shoemakers who manufacture quality footwear. Yes, the poem mentions the shoemakers affirming the quality of their work for the feet that walk, dance, run, jump, return home. So this is also true. Statement 6. The poem celebrates the patriotism of the people of Bharat. While the poem proudly mentions Bharat, its main focus is not patriotism. Rather, the poet here celebrates the different vocations of the people of Bharat. So, it is false. And the correct statement will be the poem celebrates the different vocations and hardworking people of Bharat. Our last statement, the poet feels that each vocation deserves to be respected. Absolutely 100% true. The poem teaches us that every profession is valuable and deserves equal respect. Now let us move to the next section, that is, let us appreciate the poem. First we have questions based on the rhyme scheme and lineation. The first question is, does the poem strictly adhere to a rhyme scheme or is it in free verse? Now students, free verse means that the poem does not follow a regular pattern of rhyming words. This gives the poet more freedom to express ideas naturally and smoothly. So our answer will be the poem does not strictly follow any rhyme scheme. It is written in free verse. The second question is, what is the impact of the varying length of lines in the poem? The lines are not of equal lengths. These changing lengths make the poem sound lively and flowing, just like real conversations about different workers and their skills. So our answer will be the varying length of the lines reflects the diversity and uniqueness of the different vocations being celebrated. It makes the poem sound conversational by creating a natural and flowing rhythm. Question 3. What is the pattern in the structure of most lines of the poem? In the poem, we see that the poet first mentions a particular vocation or workers and then explains their skill and craftsmanship. So the answer will be most lines begin by mentioning a particular group of workers or vocation and then describe their work, skills, or contribution to society. This organized pattern highlights the importance of every vocation. For example, the carpenters celebrating they create anything out of wood with mathematical precision. Our next question is about the speaker. The first question is, who appears to be the speaker and what is her or his role here? The answer will be the speaker appears to be a keen observer of society or a thoughtful poet. The speaker's role is to appreciate, honor and celebrate the different vocations and the hard-working people of Bharat. Now students, here the word keen means deeply interested in something. So when we say that the speaker is a keen observer of society, it means that the speaker just doesn't see. He carefully notices with a lot of interest and sharpness, and the speaker's role is to act as a voice of appreciation. Our third question is based on the tone and mood of the poem. Students, tone means the poet's attitude or feeling towards subject, while mood means the feeling created in the minds of the readers. The question is fill in the blanks with suitable options from the box given below. The words are serious, celebratory, hostile, reverential, joyful, sympathetic. Now the statements are the tone is reverential and celebratory, depicting a sense of admiration and respect for the artisans and craftspersons. Now let us understand these words. The word reverential means showing deep respect and admiration, and the word celebratory means full of praise, joy and appreciation. Throughout the poem, the poet respectfully praises all vocations. B. There is a joyful mood throughout the poem, capturing the vibrancy and richness of cultural traditions and skills. The colorful descriptions, music, singing and celebration of different professions make the mood of the poem cheerful and lively. So we will use joyful for this blank. Our fourth question is based on imagery. Now students, imagery means descriptions that help us imagine something clearly using our senses like sight, sound, movement, smell or touch. The first question is, select any two descriptions from the poem that evoke visual images. Now visual images are descriptions in a poem that help us picture a scene clearly in our mind, almost like watching a movie or seeing a picture. So our first example will be those of craftsperson, each one celebrating their craft, woven with colors and myriad hues. From this description, we can imagine beautiful crafts filled with many bright colors and shades. Our second description is the boatmen gathering their nets from the shore, sailing and singing while at work, return to tell the tales of life at sea. Here we can clearly imagine the boatmen near the sea, pulling their nets, sailing in boats and returning after work. This creates a lively visual scene. Next, fill in the blanks with suitable phrases. The poem includes auditory imagery through mentions of artisans with lutes, electricians humming and the delicious singing of the cook, emphasizing the sounds associated with each vocation. Now students, auditory imagery, here it is given auditory imagery means imagery related to sound. In the poem, the mention of the sounds of musical instruments, humming and singing help us experience the rhythm and beauty of everyday work. The fifth question is on metaphor. You all know that a metaphor is a figure of speech in which one thing is compared to another without using the words like as or like. The first question is, state whether the following sentence is true or false. The statement is, the mention of delicious singing of the cook is a metaphor because it implies that the quality of the singing is so enjoyable or pleasing that it can be equated to the experience of tasting something delicious. So the statement given here is true. It is true. Why? Because the phrase Delicious singing. This phrase is called a metaphor because the poet compares the cook's singing to tasting something delicious. Just as delicious food gives happiness to our taste buds, the cook's singing gives joy to our ears. The sixth question is on personification. Select the line that tells us that the poet personifies vocations by attributing human-like qualities to them. The line given here is, the voice of their vocation is the voice of their identity. Now, a vocation is an abstract concept, but by giving it a voice, the poet treats the work as a living person who can speak up and tell the world who the worker is. At question 7, we have repetition. The question is, why might the poet have begun and ended with the same line? I hear Bharat celebrating the varied vocations I hear. Our answer will be, the poet repeats the line to emphasize the importance and dignity of all vocations in Bharat. It also gives the poem a sense of unity and completeness. The eighth question is on alliteration. The question is, identify two examples of alliteration from the poem. As you all know, alliteration is when the same consonant sound repeats at the beginning of words that are close together. Here we have two perfect examples. The number one is sailing and singing, where we find the repetition of the S sound. The second one will be, the voice of their vocation is the voice of their identity. Here we find the repetition of the V sound. Question number 9 is about symbolism. Now students, symbolism is a literary device in which a person, an object, an action or an idea represents a deeper meaning beyond its ordinary meaning. Our question is, each vocation in the poem symbolizes something more than just a job. What does it symbolize? The answer will be, in the poem, each vocation symbolizes the identity and dignity of the individual. Beyond being just a job, these vocations symbolize how every person's unique skill and hard work contribute to the progress of society and the nation. So every job is a symbol of pride and contribution. Now we have the critical reflection. The question number 1 is, read the extract given below and answer the questions that follow. The shoemakers affirming the quality of their work for the feet that walk, dance, run, jump, return home. The delicious singing of the cook or the rhythm of designer, mason, each celebrating what belongs to them and to none else. Question number 1. The poet says that the shoemakers affirm the quality of their work. What does affirm refer to here? Now, to affirm means to state something strongly and confidently as a fact. So, the correct option will be option number 2, that is to declare with confidence. Question number 2. What do quality shoes help with according to the poet? The answer will be, according to the poet, quality shoes support and protect the feet during various activities of life such as walking, dancing, running, jumping, and finally returning home. So even a simple object like shoes play an important role in our daily life. Question 3. What does return home symbolize besides the literal act of returning? Now see students, the phrase literal act of returning means the actual physical action of coming back home after going somewhere, such as returning home after work. Here the question asks us to think beyond this simple meaning and understand its deeper symbolic meaning. So the answer will be, beyond the literal act, return home symbolizes rest, safety, and a sense of belonging. It represents the end of a hard day's work and the comfort of being back with one's family after fulfilling one's duties. Thus, the literal meaning is physically walking back to your house, and the symbolic meaning is finding peace, safety, and family comfort. Question number 4. Identify the phrase that tells us that every worker's contribution is distinct. The perfect phrase from the extract is each celebrating what belongs to them and to none else. This tells us that a mason's brickwork belongs only to the mason, and the same goes for any other worker. No one can steal their unique skill or the pride they feel in their work. Question 5. Complete the following with suitable words. For the feet that walk, dance, run, jump, return home refers to the different activities and journeys of human life. Now, students, these actions symbolize the many experiences, struggles, movements, and responsibilities that people go through in their daily life every day. We have now reached the question answer section. Question number 1. Why does the poet say, I hear Bharat celebrating the varied vocations I hear? The answer will be, the poet says this to show that work in Bharat is not just a duty, but also a source of pride and joy. Bharat celebrates the diversity and hard work of people from all professions, showing that every vocation contributes to the strength and progress of the nation. Question number 2. What does the electrician humming while getting ready for work suggest? The answer will be, the electrician humming suggests that he is happy and contented with his work. It shows that he takes pride in his vocation and works cheerfully to brighten people's lives. A person hums when he is happy. Question number 3. Explain the significance of the line, the voice of their vocation is the voice of their identity. I have discussed this in detail while explaining the poem, and our answer for this question will be, this line is significant because it means that the people's vocation reflects their identity, skill, and individuality. Their work gives them purpose, dignity, and recognition in society. Question number 4. Do you think the role of all the people belonging to different vocations is important in our daily lives? Support your answer with a reason. The answer will be, yes, the role of people belonging to different vocations is very important in our daily lives because each profession contributes to the smooth functioning and development of society. For example, we need the electrician for light, the shoemaker for comfortable travel, and the mason for shelter. Thus, our daily life depends on the hard work of many different people. Question number 5. Why is the poet celebrating all the vocations in the poem? Explain by giving examples from your context. Students, the phrase from your context means your own surroundings, experiences, or daily life. Here you can't just copy from the textbook. You have to give examples from the people and professions you see around you in real life. So we can write the answer like this. The poet celebrates all vocations to show respect for the hard work, skill, and contribution of every worker. Each vocation makes our lives comfortable and organized. In our daily life, we depend on teachers for education, farmers for food, and doctors for health care. Question number 6. How does the poet use sensory imagery to bring out the beauty of everyday work? Now, as you know, sensory imagery means descriptions in a poem that appeal to our senses like sight, sound, touch, smell, taste, or movement. It helps us imagine and experience the scene more clearly. So we will write the answer like this. The poet uses sensory imagery by describing sights, sounds, and movements connected with different vocations. The poet uses visual imagery such as woven with colors and myriad hues, auditory imagery such as lutes, humming and singing, and kinetic imagery such as walk, dance, run, jump. These images make everyday work appear vivid, lively, and beautiful. Okay, so that's all for today. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so we can keep learning together. Study well, stay happy, stay connected. Thank you.